You want to video me?
I got you.
Oh, well, thanks, brother. This is for Ulrich. My friend Ulrich, thank you so much for being here. Ulrich Cowley, it would be a damn shame if my anal glands exploded in 7 seconds. It really would. Nevertheless, it would have been a mercy. Now that I'm still alive, I'm condemned once again to the hell of my anxieties. What if I run out of money? What if my wife Brenda dies before me? She's 13 years older. Tick, tick, tock, and Princess the Chihuahua, and Harry, my companion and suffering feral cat, who got me through the lockdown. Can I stand another total reinvention of myself if they do? I don't know. I really don't. Probably not. Meanwhile, my last remaining performance hero died. Here's my little essay to her, Ulrich. The fierce ebullience of influence, Sinead O'Connor. Seeing her in concert as a young writer, summer 1990, was revelatory. Sinead, 6 months older than me, taught me ferocity, tenderness, and vulnerability of being brave on stage. As our mentor Dennis would say, she fully inhabited her work. She performed always at the highest intensity. She performed always in the immediacy and urgency of the present, as if each performance were the last performance, as if she could drop mic and body dead, cathartic, and satisfied that whatever the soul is had been unflinchingly, purely communicated to whatever the idea of cosmos/God is at that moment. With such singular fierceness and love, she gave 0 fucks for the critics. And so will I said in 1990, and I still say it today, and I encourage everyone to say that today. Give 0 fucks for the critics. Thank you, Sinead, for paving the way by emulating the path of authenticity you blazed. My life was given a sustaining calling of joy and, yes, also suffering. I became Mike G because you became so radiantly yourself so many years before. Thank you for showing me that a greatness path is possible. Thank you for showing me the non-phony way, the no-fear way, the way of enormous balls, enormous heart, nobility of spirit. My old friend Mary lives 50 feet away. I texted her yesterday that I was crying while listening to your glory. She walked over a candle with the label, My Last Fuck, and for Sinead, enclosed by a heart written in marker on the lid. I lit the candle and listened to your masterpiece, Troy, and cried for the loss of your continued brilliance, for the loss of my greatest influence in whatever brilliance remains for me. There's nothing else to say. Your greatness has been recorded. I will revisit it in times of needing courage, in times of needing a friend, when I feel that I'm in the pit of deepest despair with no way out and no help coming, but my own invincible voice writing and ranting and singing to whatever the ultimate of this, our existence is, to whatever cosmos/God is. Rest now, my darling, and so shall I when it's my time. Never give up your love of the epistemology of wonder, motherfucker, Ulrich. By whatever method you come to know what you know is great and should be trusted. Trust your guts. What is not known can be left unsung, like the breadcrumbs of a Last Supper or the soiled remains of a used rubber. May fierce ebullience sustain you, Ulrich. Meanwhile, aliens concerned they have worms after sampling Vienna sausages. Ulrich, someday I'll search for myself and find this message, blocked worldwide. Carry on, brother. The ozone is prone to decay, she said. Duke, 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 I drank. I wrote that in 2012, Ulrich. We're still here. And with acid rain in the 1980s, we're still here. As with killer bees in the 1970s, we're still here. What I've learned at 56, Ulrich, is that we're always still here, as those in their 70s and 80s. who feared nukes in school are still here. So the existential question hovering always above, below our anxieties is what now that we're still here? What the fuck do we do now, Ulrich? Well, for starters, aren't we all excited about the 2024 Trump-Biden election? Ulrich, when I was a boy in the 1970s, we sincerely believed that presidential elections were mostly friendly battles between the two greatest Americans possible. And whoever won was fine. We all moved on. The 1970s is my home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. To be honest, my favorite things about the 1970s, Ulrich, were big wheels and wallpaper. Ulrich, there were never monsters under the bed, and there still aren't. Knowing this is power, lightning in the brain. Ulrich, your own magnificence is a narrative to be fiercely, tenderly edited as circumstances change. Never allow the world's hardness edit this for you. The world will whisper meaninglessness at every opportunity, at every heartbreak. Lack of faith, sunbeam eclipsed by cloud, obscurantism of dark philosophical fancy. You write the narrative of the invincible self. Water, fertilize, wait, laugh, embrace, sing, and the flowers of yourself will continue to comfort you all your days. Ulrich, as an older poet, I know my free will is limited, not total. I can decide to joke or cry, but I couldn't decide not to drop out of law school to become a poet. That was fated or scripted by something else, perhaps by Sinead O'Connor. Ulrich, I wish as an older poet I could report to you that time doesn't take a toll. I can't, as our older friend Dennis couldn't. It takes a toll. In my best moments, I cry. It's okay. It usually is. It usually is okay. In my less than best moments, I don't know. What is this toll for me? A lack of hope, a lamentation of greatness aging, passion waning, the exhaustion of dealing with other people, the boring, inane things that interest them, their petty, dramatic moments that they have to tell me all about, as if it fucking mattered to the glory that is my mind. Do they matter? Not to the glory that's my fucking mind. I'm ready to die, not wanting, just ready, like Iggy Pop said once upon a time. Guard the glory of your own mind. Again, it would be a damn shame if my anal glands exploded in 3, 2, 1. Sinead would approve and be okay. Dennis would approve and be okay, but probably not my dead mother. You can't make everybody happy all the time. Never forget, you can't make everyone happy. They need to edit their own narratives for that. That which is for the individual, unconquerable, indomitable, indefatigable, singular spirit to maintain and cultivate, attending to one's own happiness and sanity in the tumult of the day-to-day. That's it, our friend Dennis would say. Meanwhile, in 1998, when I was your age, Ulrich, before the existential pain, my penis was a golden stalk of flesh and vein, and my ex-wife had yet to say, live long and suffer, as she left me clutching, crying into the wedding dress she left behind in the closet. Isn't that nice, Ulrich? It certainly was. And may it be nice for you, too, in the glorious golden sexuality of youth. Embrace your 30s, Ulrich. Now my penis has the relevance of silly putty left moldering in the garage, with old vodka bottles and rubber wrappers of better days. But Ulrich, there's more I have to say. Like hip hip hooray for poetry and the celebration of free speech not yet dying and the beauty of your truth. Like Sasquatch whispering to Jane Goodall, I do. I'm 56 years old. I'm Mike G, the author of Jane Goodall Fucks Sasquatch. Why the fuck would I watch a Barbie movie? Ulrich, on the bus ride here, someone said, Mike G, you're old and wise, right? Yes, child, I replied. You don't think Generation Z are the zombies predicted by the movie World War Z, do you? Yes, child, I do. Needless to say, Ulrich, if I'm lonely in the future, I'll be asking you for the dating sites for totally enlightened people. Ulrich, worst mistake I ever made on a date. I said, wow, can you eat? Ulrich, when you stop smoking and the sense of smell returns, it's mostly urine and it's everywhere. Ulrich, never worry spiritually, I got your eternal back. If it turns out to be a reincarnation soul trap, I will seal the evil demiurge in here. Break the matrix. Set us free. Of course, if death is the end, I'll be happy. Consciousness is a gift of torture. And if that death comes from a roaming gang of Gen Z woke monsters lighting me on fire while sleeping off a wine binge under the bridge, I'll be fine with that. In the end, Ulrich, everyone in this sick prison is to be forgiven except the demiurge, whose ass I will seal in here. Ulrich, it's no ontological crime to believe in your own greatness. The greatness train is non-competitive. We want everyone to jump aboard. Choo-choo, choo-choo. Ulrich, when a poet grows old, the penis, relieved of the burden of carrying the weight of its own magnificence, limply becomes a vestigial thing to pee with. When it happens to you, it'll be okay. You'll deal with it. Ulrich, the only thing that could theoretically get me off now is super IQ firepower with tits and ass, hashtag loneliness, catch cheek tear with finger, immediately transition to ejaculatory gesture. That's what I have in my performance notes, Ulrich. Finally, Ulrich, I sincerely feel that there's much more to say about the possibility of my anal glands exploding, but my friend Rachel's here, and she thinks I'm normal. I need Rachel to always think I'm normal, so fuck it! Thank you, Portland. Good night now.